We heavily touched on the defensive impact of Al Horford in my last video, and while Big Al's overall impact is one of the evolving storylines on Warriors ground, which we'll get to more on, there's much more to break down than just the Warriors' new man in the middle, as exciting as his addition is. But Pat Spencer leading the bench unit with 12 points and 4 dimes made him resemble the ideal backup point guard for the Dubs, despite the fact that he's on a two-way contract. Spencer's chemistry with Horford and pick and pops, and his high awareness to know when to pass and when to shoot, has made him one of the bigger talking points amidst Dub Nation after Game 1 of the preseason. Beyond the scoring, Spencer's playmaking was exactly what the bench needed. He orchestrated pick and rolls smoothly, kept the ball moving side to side, and found cutters in rhythm. His 4 assists weren't just routine passes, they were control possessions that prevented the offense from stalling when Curry, Butler, and Green sat. Spencer's ability to both initiate and finish plays gave the second unit a structure that felt balanced and confident. Defensively, he competed with physicality and awareness, fighting through screens and communicating clearly in help coverage. But what stood out was his composure, the sense that every possession ran through someone who understood tempo, angles, and intent. For a Warriors team still sorting out its guard rotation behind the stars, Spencer's night was a reminder that reliable decision-making and two-way effort can make a real impact. In a preseason game full of experimentation, he looked like someone carving a legitimate case for minutes once the real games start. But Moses Moody was the clear headliner of the night, leading all scorers with 19 points on a blistering 7 for 9 from the field and 5 for 7 from distance, finishing as a game-high plus 21 in just 15 minutes. This was exactly the kind of breakout performance Warriors fans had been waiting for, confident, efficient, and assertive from the opening tip. Moody wasn't just hitting open shots, he was creating rhythm within the offense, finding his spots early, and making quick, decisive reads whenever the ball swung his way. His mechanics looked smooth and repeatable, and the confidence behind each release showed the growth of a player who's ready to take the next step in his career. What stood out the most was how seamlessly Moody blended his shooting with smart off-ball movement. He flowed perfectly alongside Curry and Podziemski, timing his relocations and punishing any defensive hesitation. The Lakers' wings gave him just a sliver of daylight, and he made them pay repeatedly from beyond the arc. His plus 21 plus minus reflected not just hot shooting, but a complete two-way performance. Disciplined closeouts, steady defense, and the kind of spacing that elevated every lineup he was in. This outing felt like a statement game. Moody didn't force a thing. He simply played within the Warriors' rhythm and dominated through efficiency. His balance of patience and aggression made him look like a veteran ready to lock down a real rotation spot. In a preseason full of experimentation, he looked like one of Golden State's most polished and dependable wings, the kind of shooter and decision-maker who can stretch the floor and keep the Warriors' offense humming. Buddy Hield delivered exactly what the Warriors hoped for when they traded for him last year: reliable offense, floor spacing, and veteran poise off the pine. He finished with 11 points on 5 for 10 shooting from the field and 1 for 4 shooting from deep, providing a steady scoring punch whenever Golden State's offense needed a lift. While it wasn't one of Hield's trademark flamethrower nights from beyond the arc, he showed versatility in how he got his buckets, cutting into space, scoring in transition, and taking smart mid-range looks instead of forcing threes. His shot selection was patient, his movement purposeful, and his timing on relocations fit naturally within the Warriors' motion-heavy system. The real story, though, was the bench dominance as a whole. Hield alongside Al Horford and Quinten Post completely controlled the game's middle stretches, combining to outscore the Lakers by plus 49 in their shared minutes, a staggering margin that speaks to both efficiency and chemistry. That trio balanced each other perfectly. Horford's spacing and defensive IQ anchored the group, Post provided interior touch and rebounding, and Hield supplied the scoring gravity that kept Los Angeles' defense stretched. For Hield, this performance reinforced how valuable he can be beyond just three-point volume. His adaptability stood out, reading defensive shifts, cutting when overplayed, and keeping the floor balanced so others could thrive. In just 18 minutes, he helped turn the Warriors' bench into a major strength, showing that his shooting threat alone can bend opposing defenses even on a below-average night from deep. If this kind of balance holds into the regular season, Golden State's second unit could quietly become one of the most stable supporting groups the team's had in years. Al Horford may have only scored 3 points, but his fingerprints were all over the Warriors' dub. In just 14 minutes off the pine, he stuffed the stat sheet with 3 dimes, 3 blocks, and 4 boards, finishing as a team 5th best plus 13. It was the kind of balanced veteran performance that doesn't rely on volume scoring to make a major impact. His lone bucket came from deep, a clean pick and pop that reminded everyone how seamlessly his floor spacing fits next to Golden State's guards. But it was everything else, the rotations, the timing, the unselfish passes, that truly elevated the second unit. Defensively, Horford anchored the paint with classic precision. His 3 blocks weren't the result of gambling or overextending, they came from elite anticipation and textbook positioning. Whenever the Lakers tried to challenge at the rim, Horford's presence forced hesitation or outright rejection. On the glass, he boxed out consistently and helped secure extra possessions that turned into quick transition opportunities. His voice on defense, calling out screens, directing rotations, steadied younger teammates during extended bench stretches. Offensively, Horford's value as a connector was undeniable. His 3 assists came off give-and-go or skip passes that punished overhelping defenders. The Warriors' bench offense looked smoother when the ball flowed through him, and his composure in high-pressure situations ensured the pace never felt rushed. That blend of IQ and quiet control is exactly what Steve Kerr envisioned when bringing Horford into the system, a veteran big who doesn't need shot attempts to dominate the flow. In limited minutes, Horford gave Golden State a masterclass in subtle impact, doing everything that wins basketball games without ever needing to chase the spotlight. When you look at the Warriors' unofficial first win of the season, what stands out is how different pieces of the roster stepped up in distinct, complementary ways. Moody emerged as the clear tone setter, lighting up the night with 19 efficient points and a game-high plus 21 that showcased just how dangerous he can be when he plays freely within the system. His confidence from 3 and sharp decision-making gave Golden State a glimpse of a maturing young wing ready to claim real minutes. Meanwhile, Pat Spencer turned heads by quietly running the show for the second unit, putting up 12 points and 4 dimes while commanding the offense with poise and precision. His ability to blend scoring with floor generalship gave the bench a rhythm and stability that's been missing in past seasons. Buddy Hield brought veteran shot-making and balance to that same second unit, chipping in 11 points and stretching the floor on a modest 1-for-4 night from deep. Alongside Al Horford and Quinten Post, Hield helped engineer a plus 49 swing, proof that this new-look bench can dominate stretches through execution, not just energy. Horford, the quiet anchor of that group, put on a clinic in veteran control. His presence stabilized both ends of the floor, guiding younger teammates through rotations and making every touch matter. Taken together, the Warriors didn't rely solely on their stars. They won because role players stepped into their identities and thrived within the team concept. Moody's shot-making, Spencer's playmaking, Hield's offensive gravity, and Horford's all-around steadiness showed a glimpse of how deep and adaptable this roster can be. For a team aiming to chase one more title run, this game felt like a preview of what could make Golden State dangerous again. A blend of seasoned veterans, confident youth, and a second unit capable of sustaining excellence when the stars rest.